I come away having learned more than I gave. And it validates for me the power of people. We brought together a very diverse group. It was interesting. I've been involved in doing leadership training for more than 10 years. But I never stopped long enough to sit down and say, what are the competencies, what are the core competencies that we really need in the context of this increasingly complex challenge we call global food systems. And it was thrilling to me to watch this group wrestle with that question and come to a consensus of across sectors, across geographic regions, and truly, I would say, a unique model that none of us had seen before. That's a powerful beginning for us now to use as a roadmap in terms of designing some of the programs and using as a guide for us in putting these together.
I think that what I learned from this experience is that things can be done, even if they seem to be incredibly big or difficult, or it's just like a hole that you cannot break and you cannot divide into sub-processes or something like that. I think that if people, that willingness is a very power ending.
Thank you for sharing what you have done in these 3 days. It has enriched my perspective about what leadership is all about.
I think this really showed the power that if we had this kind of training for people who are really actually at the global decision-making level, that maybe we just might end up with better policies as well as better attitudes.
And I think as a group, we worked real hard to lay the foundations of a competency leadership competency model, and we all now plan to take this whole thing forward. And I really look forward to your support, and it's been a pleasure to know that you've been involved with setting this up.
It's quite inspiring to think that we're going to go off and really work on growing this type of leadership throughout the world. So just wish you all the best.
But I feel through learning, through listening from your discussion, your idea, I see how we understand about the leadership competencies, and that is very useful for me when I come back home to think if those kind of competencies can be applied first in my research work or in my coordination activity.
And because we are starting to establish effective networking in China with many sectors. So I think this will be a good structure for us in the future. Thank you very much.
It has really been a wonderful experience. I think the level of energy and excitement in this has been really awesome.
And now, as we discuss leadership and we discuss strategy, it was very pleasing that we even discuss issues of ownership.
The results are really fantastic, the inputs were good, and I take the knowledge, I take the friendship with me, and I'm happy to be part of this and to help this to move on.
No one of us is as smart as all of us. So together we really worked very hard and very good, and it was for me personally a very good meeting. And I think if we do the next steps we discussed, then it can be of high value for the future.
I think we need to emphasize more on the training of people who are coming up.
I think we came up with quite a lot of issues and strategies and things that can be expanded upon. And also, like to think from being part of the organizing committee, it's definitely been a learning experience for me from that avenue as well as participating. So I look forward to the new network we have started, and hopefully as we go along, it will definitely progress to something that we recognize, that started in Bellagio.
And that the challenges and the urgency of the issues and the scope of the issues requires a response that is much larger than I think we normally think in terms of. And we have started wrestling with that question here about how to produce a response to this food crisis and the use of leadership to address it at a level that's truly scalable.
I think it is amazing to me that people from different cultures, speaking different language, convene in a room and we communicate to each other very well. And I think we create a mutual understanding of the topics that we are discussing, and it leads to a conclusion that we can work on.
I think the group has worked very hard. It's very rich in diversity, ideas, cultural backgrounds, and I think has come up with a very important piece of work. And that's to really start looking at competencies and behaviors to be successful in the very difficult and challenging world of the food supply system, global food supply. We're very anxious to share this with you, and I believe that what we've come up with is a great start to put together a strategy to make us more effective, to make players at the interface of human and animal health and in food supply to be more effective to face these very difficult problems. So it's been a very productive few days and a very enjoyable few days. And thank you very much to you and Rockefeller for funding this. And we very much look forward to talking to you more about this and sharing what's happened these last few days. Thanks very much.